Bonjour classe, bienvenue dans la classe de français 1. Aujourd'hui, on parle des vêtements, your clothes. Let's get started. Okay, you're definitely going to need to follow along in your textbook today because I will go over some pictures and some pronunciation, but to see the words, to see the spelling, have your textbook ready to go, starting on page 258 through page 260. N'est-ce pas? Les vêtements. Class, it's important that as we learn the different clothing names, we remember that clothing items are nouns, they're things. And so just like any noun in French, they all have a gender, masculine or feminine. Just like un crayon is masculine for no apparent reason, une bouteille is feminine. These different clothing items are also masculine and feminine. But it doesn't mean that they are only for masculine people or feminine people. Anyone can wear any clothes, and whether the word itself is masculine or feminine doesn't have to do with who wears it in French. It's just a word, and that's the way they use it. So don't let it confuse you. Although some of them seem to make sense, like the very first one here, this is a dress, une robe. It is feminine, une robe. Class, you'll notice she's also wearing some stockings, des collants, des collants. And then she's wearing shoes, des chaussures. Une chaussure, feminine, un collant if it was singular, although there are two legs, so there kind of have to be two, also masculine. So the dress is feminine, une robe, the stockings are masculine, des collants, and the shoes are feminine, des chaussures. Who knew? Let's take a look at this fine gentleman here. What is he wearing? Il a une veste ou un blazer, et aussi il a un pantalon. Voici une cravate, his tie, une cravate, et une chemise, his button-down shirt, une chemise. Ces jolies filles-là, ils portent des sweats. Oui, on dit des sweats ou aussi un jogging ou un survêtement. Quite a few different words for this jogging suit. Voici ce monsieur ici, il porte un chapeau et une veste et aussi un t-shirt et un jean. Et voilà, elle porte un pullover, because you pull it over your head, un pullover et un pantalon. Oui? Et voici cette fille-là, elle porte un t-shirt, elle porte une ceinture, that's the belt, et une jupe, that's her skirt, et finalement des chaussures, encore des chaussures. Classe, on continue avec d'autres accessoires. Et ces accessoires, on a déjà parlé un petit peu des chaussures, mais d'autres sortes de chaussures. Cette chaussure-là s'appelle un tennis. I have to make sure I don't get it mixed up with un basket. Un tennis. Voici un sandal, une sandale, c'est féminine, une sandale. Et un basket. Et voici des bottes, une botte. On a aussi des chaussettes, une chaussette, c'est féminine. Des lunettes, une lunette, c'est féminine. Et des lunettes de soleil, parce que le soleil is the sun, alors des lunettes de soleil. Et finalement, une ceinture for a belt. Class, there's a lot more going on these pages. Make sure you look at everything. We have the word for bathing suits, un maillot de bain. We also have the word for a woman's blouse, un chemisier. The word for a woman's blouse is masculine, un chemisier. The word for a man's button-down shirt is feminine, une chemise. So you see what I mean about all these different words having gender. It doesn't have to do with the people who wear them. It's just the word itself. Make sure you look closely at pages 258, 259, and 260. And then when we get over to page 262, there's even more. Classe, regardez, un imperméable, un manteau, une casquette, un maillot de bain, et un chemisier. So, with this vocabulary, it's not enough just to be able to say what the different clothing items are. You should be able to describe what you think of them. To say that you think of something in a certain way, like I think that's a cute bathing suit, or I think that hat is too big, you would say je pense or je trouve. Je pense is literally I think. Je trouve is I find. Like I find that to be not quite your style, for example. If you're shopping, you might need to say to the salesperson what you're looking for. Je cherche. Je cherche. I'm searching for something. Je cherche. Oui? Alors, je cherche un maillot de bain. Je pense que ce maillot de bain est très mignon. Mais je trouve que ce maillot de bain est trop petit pour moi. Trop petit. The word trop means too much. So it could be too much of something. Maybe it's too expensive. Trop cher. Trop cher means too expensive. Maybe it's too big. Trop grand. Or too small. Trop petit. Voyez? You could also find something and say, that's a really good deal. Class, that's the phrase bon marché. C'est bon marché. That's cheap. That's a good deal. Not cheap in a bad way. Cheap like, I'm going to take that because it's on sale. Bon marché. And of course, you might talk about how things are in style. À la mode means in style. Démodé means out of style. Moche means ugly. Et court et long, can you tell what those are? Short and long. So again, is it too short? Is it too long? Is it just plain ugly? Or is it really in style and you want to buy it because it is also bon marché? Remember this phrase, combien coûte? How much does something cost? Also an important phrase to have when you're shopping. Class, this is just a small section of what's found on page 262. Make sure you look at page 262 to find all the different phrases. And then once you've gone through this vocabulary, we're going to do some practice. So if you are at home, if you're absent from class and you're not able to get this started with us, that's okay. You can do it right here. The first assignment is page 259, exercise 2. I'll be sure to post these pages in Google Classroom for you so that you can see what we're doing with it. But on page 259, exercise 2, it's just a list of different people that you know, or what you're wearing, what the teacher's wearing, etc. If you're not in class, it might be hard to do this part, like what is the teacher wearing today? What is the student on your left wearing? You don't know. So guess what? Make it up. Maybe look to your left, and if someone from your family is there, say what they're wearing, or just pretend and make it up. And for each of these, you should list 3 things, because we tend to wear at least 3 things, right? So, aujourd'hui je porte, write that sentence. What are you wearing today? Un t-shirt, un jean, des chaussettes, des chaussures, une casquette. Qu'est-ce que tu portes? Le professeur porte. Shall I model for you? Aujourd'hui, regarde ce que je porte. J'ai aussi un pantalon. J'ai aussi... Oh, je suis pas assez flexible. Des chaussures. Qu'est-ce que je porte? Je porte des chaussures. Je porte un pantalon. Je porte un t-shirt. Voila. See, you can do it even if you're absent from class. What is the teacher wearing? There you go. And then for the others, you can make them up. Remember, s'il pleut means if it's raining. So what specific thing would you wear if it's raining? S'il fait chaud, it is so hot in here. What would you wear if it was hot? Et si je vais dans un restaurant élégant? If you're going to dress up just a little more than usual, what would you wear? That's what goes there. We're also going to do page 260, number 3. If you look in your textbook, you will see there are pictures of people who are all going to the beach, but they're all wearing different things. So it's your job to start with, let's say this girl is the first picture. What's she wearing? Again, 2 or 3 things. So elle porte un t-shirt, Elle porte une jupe. Elle porte une veste. Et elle porte des chaussettes et des chaussures. That's like 5 things, but you only have to list 2. Base it on the pictures that are in your textbook. And same thing for this guy. What's he wearing? Il porte means he is wearing. Il porte un sweat. Il porte des tennis ou des chaussures. Il porte un pantalon. Vous voyez? So 2 things for each person in the picture on page 260, exercise 3. And then the last one is page 263, exercise 7. And for this, you're going to use all of those different expressions we talked about. Does it fit? Is it too big? Trop grand? Is it too small? Trop petit? Is it ugly? Moche? Is it in style? À la mode? What's happening with these different items? So look at the picture, and the very first picture shows a guy trying on a tie, la cravate. So the first thing you're going to do is say what the clothing item is. And then you're going to describe it. Is it too big, too small, just right? Use your vocabulary from the previous page, page 262, to describe. La cravate est trop grande. Oui. When we look at number 2, it's a picture of a pullover sweater, le pull. So what would you say about that? When you look at the picture, how could you describe it? You're going to write le pull est And then number 3, what's in the picture? It's a pair of pants. How do you say pants en français? A, and then describe it. Long, short, ugly, cute, expensive, cheap, etc. We've got lots of words for you in the vocab to use. Class, that's lesson 17. Go back, look at all this vocab, learn these different clothing items. You can even pause the video and quiz yourself, etc., etc. And I will see you next time. I'll see some of you out there in Google Classroom, and the rest of you I'll see in class. Merci. À bientôt et au revoir.